The Matriarch. What do we know about the Matriarch? Not a whole lot. Today I'm going to be talking about what we know and some cool fan-created designs of the Matriarch. Now, what we know so far is the user inquiry in the documentation that I made a video of a while back.
Coinciding with objective parameters to complete an EIP, I have developed a completely adaptable organism within Tartarus. Once another profile is complete, the Matriarch will redistribute within the observable areas of Tartarus for study. It is not correct to call it a dinosaur, but I have not given it a name.
And also, I want to talk about the Olympus Transmitter. Now, the Olympus Transmitter says something colossal comes this way, and it keeps going up. Do not pass gateway, do not answer the call. Now before, a lot of us and even me speculated this has to do with Colossus, but what we know of the Matriarch is it does grow from a very tiny animal and it adapts and grows to something much larger than a Puertosaurus. It could be the Matriarch because it's been in Tartarus. We know Colossus and the Matriarch are currently in Tartarus, and we do know it's been in Tartarus for quite a while. So it's had plenty of chances and plenty of time to grow. So by the time it comes out, it could already be absolutely massive. So I estimate this is either, because it's also talking about a gateway, right? Now there's a lot of gateways to a lot of the different facilities. So this could really mean any facility, but the word colossal makes me think of the Titans, which makes me think of Tartarus, which makes me think of either the Colossus or the Matriarch. At this point, I'm considering them Titans. Whether they are or not, I don't really know. User inquiry. The Matriarch coinciding with objective parameters to complete an EIP. I've developed a completely adaptable organism within Tartarus. Once another profile is complete, the Matriarch will redistribute within the observable areas of Tartarus for study. It is not correct to call it a dinosaur, but I have not given it a name. It is a completely adaptable organism within Tartarus. So what this means is it can adapt to any environment or situation it's put in. We do know that it starts off really small, smaller than a Compy, and it has the potential to grow larger than a Puerta. So this thing is big. It's thought to have heavy regeneration and completely adaptable. Now, one other thing I would like to mention is we do have a loading screen that mentions something called the Matriarch. Now, I don't know how accurate this is, and I don't know if this coincides with the real Matriarch, but we have a loading screen right here that says Instant Report Transcript 32 Part 2. Leading up to the compound itself, upon reaching the structure, Specimen Blank began pacing. We expected the same type of rage one would expect from any aggressive animal, but it was subdued, focused, and calculated. She was the Matriarch, and no one was taking her offspring. Not here, not now, not ever. Now, this tells us a few things about the Matriarch. First of all, it's extremely intelligent, but any creature that can adapt to any situation or environment is going to be extremely intelligent. This also says that it has offspring, so more Matriarchs coming, I guess, or at the very least some sort of, I guess, offshooting of what the Matriarch is when it has offspring. Not sure if it's going to be the same creature or something different. So you probably don't want to piss her off. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and talk about Tapwing's designs here. Now, he has a series of designs. There's going to be 6 in total. Right now, he only has 4. And it goes through the different stages of the Matriarch. Now, like I said, these are fan designed. Tapwing is a fan, but we have seen his designs come into the game before. Some of this might actually be included in the game. Maybe none of it will. I would say more likely none of it. Or he could be collaborating with the Isle devs to release information to throw us off the trail. Anyways, we're gonna read it. Stage 1, our third attempt at a continually adaptive non-microbial organism. A small pterosaur blueprint infused with tissoplastic and sparing hyperendocrine material was used for its genetic structure. To incentivize the creature to seek foreign DNA, we use blueprints from a species of, can't pronounce that feed off blood of bats in order to fully develop. From that and the tissoplasty, ours should do the same and change substantially. So it starts off small and they're kind of, I guess, feeding it some sort of different DNA to start off its development, which is pretty interesting. As we do know that the Matriarch was in a lab and was studied, so this is most likely probably true, or at least part of it, some of it anyways. 2-6, Pterosaurus Matriarch. The specimen's DNA is further developed, though as of yet foreign influence is difficult to identify. It has become more bold as the matriarch moved on to solid foods, showing further muscular development and growing a set of teeth. Its change in posture, researchers indicate, could be foreign development. Further observation is required. Then we move on to stage 3-6. To confirm foreign development, the team located and recalled one of her active matriarchs to compare how the caged and wild specimens develop. The caged matriarch grew only slightly and remained physically unchanged. The wild specimen, however, grew substantially and adapted common traits of the theropoda, losing its wings and developing denser structure along with a more muscular build that serve it in grappling or climbing. Some unknown growth spark concern, but nothing outside the current margin of error. Further observation required. This is actually interesting because based on its environment, it's going to grow and adapt and kind of grab the best traits of the different creatures. Honestly, I think this sort of trait is probably true within the matriarch. Now, we don't know what the matriarch is going to look like in the game, but I think it will adapt and take traits, or at least the best traits of the, I guess, the common species around the area that it's currently in. So moving on to stage 4, but we have the Tyrannosaur Matriarch. Study nearly concluded. It's been estimated the last 2 matriarchs have reached adulthood and growth should halt from here on out. Redacted. Think otherwise. Given the matriarchs draw to semi-aquatic Spinosaur and crocodilians, graphing with targets and showing impressive yet worrisome regeneration when one subject lost an arm to a large Deinosuchus. A request to extend the field test has been issued and pending. We're underestimating the regenerative potential of this genetic mixture. Bring back one of the specimens and I'll show you. Now that I've read this, we do have suspicions that the matriarch is going to be the largest creatures in the Isle, at least as far as the creatures we know so far. There's been talk about creatures moving between islands, and I would put them on a, I guess, island class sort of tier that's way above this. They can basically eat things like the Colossus and stuff whole. We're not going to talk about those right now, but they're completely different things for another day. But yeah, we do know that it's going to be huge. It's going to be one of the biggest creatures on the island, probably bigger than the Colossus itself, or maybe even around the same size, and it might even be able to grow larger. We don't know what its actual full potential is, and it can adapt to any situation. So I think Tapwing's idea where it adapts as it grows and gets the best traits that serves its purpose during that time is probably really true. And also its ability for regeneration just makes sense, because if it can adapt and grow in an extremely fast way, then it can also regenerate extremely fast as well. I think those two kind of go hand in hand, really. And this guy is going to be probably the most terrifying creature on the Isle. It's going to be more terrifying than any of the other creatures I've ever talked about. My 3 Gods of the Isle video, this guy is, the matriarch is above them, as far as I'm concerned, or at least has the potential to be above them. Well guys, that's basically all I got for you for today. Now this is a complete video on the matriarch. We have some fan ideas, we have some confirmed facts about the matriarch, but honestly, we don't really know a lot about it. Even with the knowledge we do have, it's probably going to come in and be different than we expect, at least partially. As for playing as it, I have no idea. From what I've heard is it's going to be probably one of the hardest creatures, if not basically impossible, to obtain. This could also be one of those creatures that you see every once in a while once the story, I guess, unfolds a little bit further. We'll find out more in AE001. Now, from my suspicions and what I've heard is we might get more of the Colossus and more of the matriarch once AE001 comes out, because I think Tartarus or a holding facility might be on that map. So we'll learn more when that happens. Anyways, I want to thank Tapwing for making amazing designs, and hopefully he's all right with me using his designs in my video. I'm going to go ahead and have a link down to his DeviantArt page where you can check out all this information. And like I said, this is fan information, so you take it all with a grain of salt. But I think he's on the right path, and I think he kind of has the idea. So thank you very much, Tapwing. I mean, at this point, Tapwing is more famous than all of us as far as the owl is concerned. But yeah, go check him out. You guys have probably seen his art and all that kind of stuff before, but I'll have a link below. And thank you guys very much for watching. Tell me what you think. Do you think the matriarch is going to have any of these traits or abilities? Is there anything else that I didn't include that you think the matriarch is going to be? let me know. I'd very much greatly appreciate it. And I'm really curious. I'm always really curious about this stuff, and I try to reply to comments, and I try to, talk to you guys. So thank you for watching. I love your faces, and I'll see you guys in the next one.